Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel once again. This is the continuation video for reproduction in plants. As we have learnt about reproduction in plants, the way method, that is asexual reproduction in plants. So in this video we are going to study about sexual reproduction in plants. So before that we have to understand about the parts of a flower. So let's begin. So this is a picture of parts of a flower diagram. For the sexual reproduction in plants, we need two parts. So that is the first one, pistil, which shows female reproductive part, and stamen, which shows male reproductive part. Okay, so you can see here stigma, style, and ovary. Togetherly, it says as pistil. Okay, pistil is nothing but which contains stigma, style, and ovary, and anther and filament togetherly known as stamen, which is male reproductive part. So when flower which contain either pistil or stamen. Okay, when flower which contains either pistil or stamen, they are called as unisexual flower. Okay, where flowers which contain both the stamen and pistil, they are called as bisexual flowers. So we have some examples: corn, papaya, and cucumber, which produce, okay, they produce unisexual flowers, means only either you can find pistil or stamen in them, whereas mustard, rose, and petunia have bisexual flowers, which shows both the uh, reproductive parts of a flower. So when both male and female, okay, both male and female unisexual flowers may be present in the same plant or in different plants. Fine. So how could you identify the anther and filament from a stamen? So we have here picture. So this is a picture of stamen which contains anther, okay, which is at the top, and the thread like structure, stick like structure, you can say it is filament. Fine. So this is the anther and filament, and it is the structure of stamen. We also have the picture for pistil, which shows stigma, then style, and the ovary. Okay, in ovary, inside the ovary, you can see the ovules. So these are the two reproductive parts of a flower, that is male and female. So anther contains pollen grains, okay, which produce male gametes. A pistil contains stigma, style, and ovary. So we know that ovary contains one or more ovules, right? So the female gamete or the egg is formed in an ovule. So in sexual reproduction, a male and female gamete fuse to form a zygote. Okay. Okay. So formation of zygote, there is a process. Before that, the pollination happens. So in this process, pollen grains have a tough protective coat which prevents them from drying up. You can see here, this is the anther and this is the filament. Okay. And this anther contains pollen grains. And when it is connected with the or attached to the stigma, this is the stigma, which is a female reproductive part, right? So this, in this way, pollination happens. So this is the outer coat which protects the pollen grains from drying up. Since pollen grains are light in weight, so they can be carried by wind or air or any insects. Fine. So, or even water. So insects visit flower and carry away pollen grains on their bodies. So some of them lands on the stigma of a flower of the same kind. Fine. Means you can see here the picture. When these pollen grains are landed on this stigma, so this type of pollination is called to be self pollination, right? But that flower should be bisexual, which shows female and male reproductive organ in same flower. But when this pollen grains from one flower which goes to another flower which having the stigma, okay, which landed on another flower's stigma, but the same kind, means this is also a hibiscus flower and this is also hibiscus flower, but the different flower, not the same one. So that time you will say cross pollination. Fine. So there are two types of pollination: self pollination and cross pollination. Okay. So when the pollen of a flower lands on a stigma of a flower of a different plant of the same kind, it is called to be cross pollination. Okay, so we have here picture how it is the fertilization, that is the zygote formation happens. Here the pollen grains, okay, these are the pollen grains which are germinating which are having the germinating stage, and this is the ovum, that is the ovules, formation of egg inside the ovary. Okay, so and this is the formation where it is a pollen tube and which are connected to the ovary, and there is a formation of zygote formation is there. So in this way the fertilization happens. So what exactly happens there? So the cell which results after the fusion of a gamete is called zygote. Here, this is a fusion of gametes, fine. So the process of fusion of male and female gametes, okay, from to which forms the zygote, this is the process is called fertilization. And the zygote for develops into an embryo, right? That embryo means what? That embryo is nothing but the seed formation. So after fertilization the ovary grows into a fruit and other parts of the flower fall off. Okay, you may have seen that the fruit is the ripened ovary. That fruit is nothing but the ripened ovary, and the seeds develop from the ovules. So the seed contains an embryo enclosed in a protective seed coat. Okay, some fruits are fleshy, juicy, such as mango, orange. Some fruits are hard, like almonds, walnuts, etc. We have here examples. First one and second one. So let's understand how this is happening, right? Actually, it is happening naturally only. First of all, uh, the seed dispersal is happening by means of nature, like by means of water or air. Even the animals involvement is there, that is the insects also. So this happens because seeds are dispersed to different places. Sometimes after a walk through a forest or a field or a park, you may have found that some seeds or fruits sticking to your clothes, right? So did you try to observe how these seeds are clinging to your clothes? Yes, because they are light in weight. So what do you think will happen if all seeds of a plant were fall to at the same place and grow there? It is not happening, right? So if happens, so there will be competition for sunlight, water, mineral, and space. So as a result, the seed will not grow properly. Okay. So plants benefit by dispersal only, seed dispersal. So it prevents competition between the plants and its own seedlings for sunlight, water, and minerals. It also enables the plants to invade new habitats for wider distribution. So seeds and fruits of plants are carried away by wind, water, and animals. These are the pollinating agents. So winged seeds such as those drumstick and maple, you can see here. This is a drumstick and maple seeds which are having the wings like structure. They can float or fly away. They are light in weight, right? So these are the light in weight, so they can go with the air, right? Now other seeds are there. We have here examples: seeds of grasses or hairy seeds of ack, that is madar, and hairy fruit of sunflower. You can see the picture here: hairy fruit of sunflower and hairy seed of madar. Okay, so they can also get blown off with the wind for far away places. So some seeds are dispersed by water also. So these fruits or seeds usually develop floating ability in the form of sponge or fibrous outer coat as coconut. Some seeds are dispersed by animals, especially spiny seeds with hooks which get attached to their bodies of animals and are carried to distant places. For example, xanthinium and urena, you can see here. This is a xanthinium. Okay, so we have examples of some seeds are dispersed by means of sudden jerks. So there are like castor and balsam. These are the examples where their seeds are scattered everywhere by means of sudden jerks. Okay, so in this way we have finished sexual reproduction in plants. Here we already learnt about the how the formation of zygote is there. That is the process of fertilization which is in the plants. Okay, by means of male and female gametes. So I hope you understood about this lesson, which is very important for any exam, any competitive exam. So where you have to understand about the fertilization process, pollination types. There are two types of pollination: self and cross pollinations, and you have to remember about the examples of these. In which plant cross pollination is happening and which in which plant self pollination is happening. Okay, so thanks for watching.